Yeah, hello guys, welcome to this channel. In this channel, I'm looking at the markets as a whole, opportunities in the market. So I'll be sharing my screen to just explore what's happening to BTC, cryptocurrency market itself, and ever that thing need to just pay attention to. So which is what I'm doing now. What to use for analysis is majorly trading view. Trading view is what you use to do our analysis. So I'm on this chart. And what you're seeing on this chart, are looking at BTC. So what we need to look first is let's look at the higher time frames to actually what is happening in the market itself. So it's not serve as a guide for us. As you can see, looking at monthly time frame, you can see Bitcoin has already been doing what we're climbing higher and higher. But things you have to watch out for is market don't move in a straight line, move in zigzag form. Now, looking at these things you are seeing here, what do you think is going to happen here? I can see a bit of divergence happening here. You understand? You can see what's happening. Look at this market here. Look at what is happening here. You understand? The higher highs that are showing here and what's happening here. So what happens once you notice that's kind of a thing? You should expect market to do what? To come down. Look at the same thing that was repeated here also. It's high, and look at what is happening there. This is low. And what happened? Market came down. So if you have to draw out our levels, apart from drawing it, the other ways you can look at the market can pick your Fibonacci retracement from either from this point to this other point, or now depends on what you look out for while you draw your Fib levels. Me, I use Fib level for different purposes. I have different types. I use one that will give me retracement. I use the one that I use to just trade the futures market. As you can see this is where the previous time look at where market retraced to and went higher. Now, as people are looking at the market is going higher. A lot of people don't know form into this market thinking that this thing is going to go higher. What is happening? And what do you think will happen later on? You expect something like a dip to happen. And if you had to start measuring what can happen by measuring these our lines alongside with let's use a different tool entirely. Let me see. I can use this flip fan. I can place it at any angle and you can see how it's connected to those points. And I can still move it to places that I can even see know what's happening in the past, and I'll also use this as a guide to see what's happening ahead of the future. So we are considering all these areas now. Look at the way the fan of this spread. This is the support level, support level, support level. And here is what resistance level, resistance area. So normally if you have to connect all your points together, you can see something like this, what is going to happen. Looking at this, now depends on how you now connect your points together. But for what I'm seeing here, what happened, you can see retracement levels. We're expecting something like that to happen around here to this level. And that's what people don't understand about this market. So why will you be jumping to buy this market here? Now, the Bitcoin might decide to do another higher here because what I'm seeing here is this is a low, higher, this is another low. We're expecting a push up to probably around this. But Bitcoin needs to do what? Need to break these tops, which is like an initial target for the market if I'm buying into this. And as I'm looking at this, that is what we are seeing here. You can see the price here is doing what? Trying to cover out. And so me as a person, I won't be jumping into this trade because something like this can happen in this trade. Market can decide to go up, test here, and do what again and come down, start coming down. Same thing. So you got to draw a Fibonacci retracement level to be sure when the market might get to. Can try to move this in here, and our target is 66% here, which is around this zone here. And if price continues to, once price breaks this support here. This is what you're expecting. And in no time, you expect the market. You can see what happened here. This was a dump that happened here from this high to this low. That's 76. Are you telling me it's not going to be possible here? Very possible. So, and where you see accumulation zone, always a lot of clustering happening in this market. So once you notice that, look at this particular area here. You can see a lot of activities happening here. It shows that a lot of attention is being focused to this area. Likewise, these zones also. These are zones that you have to be conscious of. So for me, market is bullish, but at the same time, I'll never be on. I will never want to stay on the mountain and be expecting market to do what? To go higher above that mountain. So this will still happen over time. So as it is now, this is the period where people start booking in their profits. So if you are smart about this, you have to be conscious. Because once this will start dropping, it won't be funny. So from a weekly time frame, let's go to daily time frame just to see what's happening. Okay, you can see the way the price is still trying to do what? Push up to this point here. Now, Bitcoin is serving as a guide here. So within the short time bullishness, you could still expect price to still test this 119 zone here. But what happens to other time frames, lower time frames? Because the lower time frames gives you what will actually happen within a short time. You can see this breakout happening here. So you expect this price to test here. Because look at what has happened in the past here. So if I will buy into this, I'll be conscious of my entries. This will have been a very good entry for me from this other place to this other place here. Easily you can get like your 8% entry. But for me, I'm conscious of this market because it can be tricky. Because you're not only trading just on the market, you're also trading against the institutions. And institutions are also watching you because what they were thinking in their mind is okay, let's just let people FOMO into this market, thinking that Bitcoin goes to go higher and they're not done the market. And you know what they do most of the time? They always have this bot that are always hunting for liquidation prices. Once you realize that when you place your stop losses or liquidation price is low, you expect market to flow through that direction. So for the short time being, market is bullish for Bitcoin, but at the same time, you have to be conscious of the market. Now, after looking at Bitcoin, you can look at other assets. Litecoin is also good, but most time I use Litecoin as a leading indicator. I don't use I study Bitcoin, but what Litecoin tells me, Litecoin gives me that first direction. As you can see where Litecoin is now. What do you think is happening here now? This is another strong way resistant area here. And for what you are seeing on 1 hour time frame, if you look at higher time frames, the 4 hours, you can see the different thing entirely that is happening. Why the market is trying to do what to gather that momentum, Litecoin is also trying to do the same thing. So we're expecting a breakout of this zone here. If price will break out of that zone, we're expecting something like this to happen. We measure the height of this, we duplicate it. So Litecoin is expected to do or to get to this particular level. Now, if you look at the left side, realize that that is like a level of what resistance. So if you are smart about this, you jump into this trade at this current price and aim at this current price, which is good. And at the same time, if price should now come down, I couldn't break that resistance zone here and breaks here, we expect something like this to happen for confirmation to this downside, which is to be around here. So if you are trading the market, always think both ways in the market. You can see. So guys, I'm expecting this breakout to happen. Once this happens, our target should be at 130 zone here. That is for Litecoin. So, and the same thing goes for all other assets. But what you have to put in mind is DXY, which means the dollar index, is the key factor because the dollar is down. Every other assets are high. So you need to understand the relationship of the dollar as against those other assets. So for the fact that dollar is down doesn't mean price will keep on going down. As you can see, look at what is happening here. You see, this is what they call like falling knife. So you can expect a bounce back. If the bounce will happen, you expect every other asset to do what, to come down. So I don't only just trade the market on my own. What I look out for is I look at the relationship of the dollar as against Bitcoin, as against Dow Jones. The Dow Jones has been high already, and we're expecting retracement to happen to this side. So, looking at the relationship of all, once the dollar is down, you expect Euro USD to be what, up. And look at that's what is happening here now. Euro USD is up. And for what we are seeing here is our resistance area for what we are looking out for Euro is around this zone here. So Euro could decide to move to that zone and do what? And get rejected. And once you get rejected, what do you expect? You expect price to do what? To come down. But when you're expecting price to come down, what happened to the dollar index? Dollar will go up. Those are concepts that most individuals don't understand. You understand? So why should I just be forming into this market? Bitcoin is out. Let's jump in. It's fine. It's good. But at the same time, I should be conscious because I shouldn't get carried away by what I'm doing. So even if I'm trading this market, I'll be conscious of my targets because already realize that all assets are following the direction of BTC. No matter how it is, and these are other opportunities of other assets that are down. You see, the EGL code, we're expecting the breakout to happen there, which is a good asset. It can shoot up and you can aim at these other areas here. A breakout from here can take you like 30% return on investment here. So if you are smart about this, you just buy buy your e-gold. And likewise, other opportunities like that is happening. You can see different chart, different prospect opportunities. You get so, guys. This is all about it for this week. Looking at the whole, interface, the whole market, the whole instrument of the market. At the same time, don't forget your forest factory because that is where you see news coming out, and to actually know how you can plan ahead of the market. This Tuesday, it's nothing, no much activities here on Tuesday. So Tuesday just like a normal day where you're expecting candidates to happen. But look at tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. USA what call PPI is coming out. And what does that indicate here? We're expecting where you can see what has happened in the past and the impact in the market. And that's one thing about this. Okay, these are core price related news. Now, and forecast is telling us that 0.3, people is 0.9. So if the actual is not 0.5, it means it's stronger for the dollar. If the actual is less than 0.3, it means it's weaker for the dollar. So we expect market to do what? To climb further higher. So guys, that is it for this section. So I believe you've learned something. So in the next time, I will be sharing more light to what's happening. Thank you.